So I wanted to show everyone how I design my larger 3D stamps for making small trays and things like that. The nice thing about these stamps is how the actual stamp and the cutter fit together. Um, if you're interested in making your own, you can email me and I will send you a template. And then at the studio, we offer 3D printing services. But the thing I wanted to show is how simple the design process can be. I just start off with kind of a simple concept. I knew I wanted skulls and flowers, and then when you play around with things for a little while, that moth kind of just fell in. I didn't want to overplay the flowers, and I didn't want to go with multiple skulls. And the moons gave me this like asymmetrical feel that I was really happy with. At first, I thought I was going to have a very repetitive kind of around the rim pattern, but with playing out my weights and things like that, this is kind of what I settled on. And then uh, making sure that everything is going to come out nicely, that the kind of like that blue line is where I knew I wanted the cutter to kind of run through. And then once I had everything planned, I was ready to go ahead and get it on the 3D printer. At this point, with that template, I can design that 3D cookie cutter and the stamp itself. And after it's printed, it's ready to be used. All I do is add a little bit of cornstarch to my clay and my stamps and cutters. And I go ahead and all I do is just press down. I've got kind of everything set so that the stamp doesn't really want to stick to the clay, and you get that really nice imprint without going too deep into the clay. I like to tap the stamp down with something heavy like a rolling pin, but you'll notice how easy everything kind of comes apart. The clay just pulls away from the cutter and the stamp pulls away from the clay. Now to take the cutter off, I do like to have the stamp in so that I can easily lift that color without warping my edges. But if you notice how little cleanup this is going to need, that's kind of like the beauty of how nicely the cutter and the stamp fit together. At this point, all I use is a foam pad, and I make these wooden blocks that I'm also going to sell that go perfectly in that center ring. And then all I need to do is press down. I don't want the edge of my wooden block to push into the clay, but once I've got it kind of set to the depth I'm like, I just make sure everything feels nice, and you can see how nice that stamp came out in the clay. But if you guys are interested in getting your own stamps, please feel free to reach out or check out my Etsy. Thank you.